Hi everybody, and again today I just wanted to share a game I've had for many years, a classic I would put it down as. This is GMT Games' Fading Glory. This was part of their multi-pack for the Napoleonic Series 20 games, which I'm a big fan of. I've got several, but I was particularly looking for the Salamanca scenario, having visited Salamanca last year, and I picked this one up shortly after I came back from that trip. Haven't had a chance to play it too much. I think I've played only once or twice so far, but I really like it, and I just wanted to share with you some of the contents of the box. This obviously is a second-hand copy. It's, I believe, now out of print, although there is a lot of call for a reprint because I think, again, it'd be very, very popular. It's a very low counter density game, and I think it appeals to people these days who are looking for some historical flavour, chrome, but with a low footprint and short time scale for play. So Fading Glory was bringing all four of these scenarios into one package. It's a decent size GMT standard sort of size box, and on the back here you can see the Waterloo map. It's a hex and counter type game, driven by cards, and as it says, by being Napoleonic 20. 20 pieces or less are in play at any time, so that is the key driver of this game. You can see in this package you got two mounted maps, yes, two, and they're double-sided for each of the scenarios. 48 playing cards, two counter sheets, two player aid cards, rulebook, playbook, and dice. So you can see there, this was a Joe Miranda game originally. Joe's done lots of games over the years. I've got several of his, and this is a medium complexity with a medium solitaire capability. For those that don't know much about these particular periods of history, obviously these are some quite critical battle stroke campaigns of the Napoleonic era. So let's just show you what's in my box. Obviously some things have been punched or in bags, but I just wanted to show you a little bit of that. So these cards are a critical part of the game. So depending on your scenario, you will have specific cards applicable to that scenario. So you can see here, for example, these ones are the Smolensk ones. You've got Waterloos, Borodinos, and Salamancas. Really nice, good card stock, really clear. And what they do is they have a French or an Allied event action on each card. So you deal those out, and that's what you use. So they're really nice. You then got various counters. These are decent sized counters, good thickness, so they're quite thick card stock. Again, really nice and easy to read. You've got some dummies, and then you got these kind of unit counters as well. Very little information on them, and they're rounded counters as well, which is really nice. So there's no clipping needed. So these are the British ones, for example, and we've got some French, and Prussian, and Russian. So they're really nice, and you've got lots of other little counters in play, little markers, do various things in the game. Again, all good colours, nice and easy to follow. There isn't too much of this in the game, to be fair. You get 2 good size D6, and then you get lots of bits and pieces. So these are your player aids, terrain effects chart. You can see there, quite detailed. And on the back you've got your typical sort of QRS covering the key elements in the game. And you can see this one's exactly the same. You've got 2 of those, one for each player, which I really like. You've got the rule book, using the rules. You can see 10 to 12 pages is the rules, so nothing too heavy there, because some of these are optional rules or additional rules at the back. You can see it's full colour, typical kind of GMT layout, nice, lots of examples of play. Again, very nicely written, even for its time, bearing in mind this game is what, 12 years old now. But as the original Napoleonic, 20 games, very easy to understand. The only issue for me, and this is just my own personal thing, is I'm not so keen on games where you have a rule set and then you have specific scenario rules. I like a rule set that just is all encompassing, rather than having to keep relating back to books. But with this, to be fair, because the game's quite straightforward to start with, that's not so much of an issue. So we've got the exclusive rules for Waterloo, and there's some extra scenarios in there, Borodino and Smolensk, and then of course again some extra scenarios in there, and then Salamanca. So as well as the main battles, you've got some of these side battles as well, as we talked about there. So the Battle of Libino, for example, is one of those. We've also got Wavre as well at Waterloo. So you know there are a few different alternative games there. So there's a lot of game in the box in terms of depending on how you want to play it. But let's just set up some of these hard mounted boards to show you kind of what they look like. So we've talked already a bit about Waterloo, so let's start with that one. Hopefully you can just about see all of that in the picture there. So you got morale track and weather track at the top, turn track at the bottom, events in play, and then you've got this nice map, not too big, not too small, nice big hexes. I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you so you can see that a bit easier. It's very nicely done, very simple. Got some of the key areas here that you would have seen in any of the Waterloo sort of campaigns or games. But again, it's really nice colour palette. And this tells you about the quality of GMT's components. This game is 12 years old, and that map looks as new as the day that it would have been produced. It's in excellent condition, and you know their component quality is renowned. This is Salamanca. Again, just slightly different color palette because of where it is. Again, really nicely done. So similar layout, but just a slightly different orientation on the map. we've got Smolensk as well. Let me just lay that one over the top. Again, really nicely done. Again, slightly different colour palette. We've got some nice sort of built up areas here. And then if we turn that over, we should also have Borodino. Again, there. Showing you that nice map there. So some really nice, let's just zoom this one in, nice maps, lovely mounted boards. Now I appreciate this game will not be for a Napoleonic purist who's looking for probably a game with thousands of counters, playing it over multiple days, to really play the campaign in its entirety. These games are not designed for that. They are designed for all sorts of different players, I would suggest. Players who are new to the hobby, players who want to scratch a Napoleonic itch, or those who just want to play a game, solitaire, with a player over a couple of hours and just have a bit of fun experimenting with different tactics. I think they're a great entry point into the hobby, and I'd really love to see GMT reproduce this, because I think it's got a lot to offer and could be a very good entry point to bring some new blood into the hobby. But I hope you've enjoyed this little trip down nostalgia road. That's Fading Glory, the Napoleonic Series 20 multi-pack from GMT Games. Thanks for watching.